It's wicked cold out there today, Dee.
It is here too. Your cold front also hit us, and tomorrow is colder.
Oh, colder here tomorrow. Today is Sunday, the 9th. Yes, the 9th.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, but before we start, Dee, I wanted to tell you, I have to get a big sniff of this rosemary plant right here.
I love that smell.
Yeah. Don't you want to know why?
Sure. Why?
I'm not going to tell you until we get to that part.
I think I know why. All right, ready?
Welcome to the Garden Angelus, where we chat about flowers, veggies, and all the best dirt. I'm Carol Michael from Indianapolis, Indiana. I have a suburban garden measured in square feet. It's about a third of an acre.
And I'm Dee Nash from Guthrie, Oklahoma, where I still have a large garden out in the country.
We are Garden Angelus because we love gardening, and we want you to love it too.
Yes, we do. And we aren't afraid to spill all of our gardening secrets, the good, the bad, and even the ugly. But let's move on to this week's episode.
Hi, Dee.
Carol. Good Lord. All right. Tell me your update. Good grief. It's four? Is it 4 paragraphs? Yeah, 5. No, 6.
It doesn't feel like I did a lot, but I did plant tulip bulbs out by the mailbox. I had to rip out still blooming signet marigolds because, marigolds keep blooming way after the zinnias are done.
Yeah, true. They don't get mold or whatever that is. Mildew, powdery mildew.
I cleared them all out along the back fence. Zinnias were done, kaput, browned. The marigolds are still blooming, but I needed to get going on it because I have put down the deposit for the new privacy fence. So getting stuff ready. Get her done. I cleaned off the back patio, which means, I emptied out all the containers. I covered them with trash bags. I made a big pile of stuff, put that under a tarp. It's a great look, of course. And today's wind is testing how well I secured the tarp.
Yeah, here too. Good grief.
Ditto the front porch, got the hanging baskets gone, hoses put away, set up a heated bird bath for my very spoiled birds. So
we have one too. We have a heated fountain.
Yeah. I also potted up some snowdrops and let me put this on do not disturb so we're not disturbed.
Let me do that too.
Yeah, we have to pause in the middle of everything to do not disturb.
Okay, mine's on.
Okay, mine's on too. Let me see if that was a big message. Anyway, so I potted up snowdrops and reticulated irises in a little pot and put them in the refrigerator, the back of the refrigerator to cool off so I can force those. I went to a local garden center and accidentally bought a couple of houseplants.
Okay, the ones in the refrigerator. I think we should mention for our newer listeners or newer gardeners that you should not have any fruit in that refrigerator.
And I don't. Because fruit gives off an ethylene gas that can destroy the bulbs. But that's not a problem in mine.
Yeah, mine either. But you know what? Some people it might be. So we should mention it. All right, keep going.
Well, and I bought a couple of houseplants accidentally. And
excuse me. What did you buy? I finally watered mine.
I bought the prettiest cyclamen because you know how they kind of droop down and that calyx shows. The calyx is almost like a pinkish color, and then the flower is like a dark pink. It was really pretty.
Yeah.
And then I bought a pot that had 3 different African violets in it because I don't have any African violets right now, and I feel like as an old lady gardener, I do need some African violets.
I really don't want to enter this old lady gardener thing with you. So, but I do like African violets because they're awesome.
Yeah, and I did go to Costco, and I purposely sought out the waxed amaryllis bulbs that they would usually have, and indeed they had them, same price as last year, $21.99 for 3 big bulbs.
That's cheap.
It is, because I won't say where I was, but they had some. Now, I think these bulbs were a little bigger than what I got, but they were like $32 a piece.
No way.
No way.
I just don't. No, thank you.
So, and I used my little leaf vac thing with the bag attached, and I sucked up more leaves because it really crunches them good, and you can get a lot in the bag.
Right.
Versus if I was going to mow, I'd be like 10 feet, stop, empty the bag, 10 feet, stop, empty the bag. So my neighbor had mowed, and I didn't have time to mow, but I just sucked up some over by him, so it would look like that I was trying to not get all my leaves over into his yard. But anyway. Because I want my leaves. I want my leaves to put on the vegetable garden. I don't want them to go away.
Right. Unlike him.
Anyway,
Okay. Anything else you can think of?
I could probably think of a few things, but I think that's the gist of it.
Wait. In this paragraph, it says that you bought a pot of 3 African violets and a very pretty cyclamen. Oops, I blame Dee. Now, what did Dee have to do with any of that?
You're just a convenient person to blame when you accidentally buy plants, because you say that, would Dee buy these? Sure she would.
I see.
Dee would, yeah.
I would
sure.
always say, you betcha. Go buy them.
Betcha.
I'll be glad to be your enabler.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm not planting bulbs yet. I will plant them after the big freeze, which is supposed to happen tonight. We also unhooked our timers. We have not unhooked all the faucets completely, but we have unhooked all the timers, all of the spray nozzles. I need to go out there and check them because Bill actually did it for me. And there's one in the front that I need to go do. He couldn't climb up into that garden with his walker. So
no,
I got the rest of the plants in the greenhouse. Everything is tucked in. And I did not bring in as many as I usually do because I left some space to do some plant seeds in December and January, because I'm going to do both sweet peas and what is that other flower I love so much? Lisianthus. And those have to be started really early. So I'm going to do those.
Now, are you going to start the Lisianthus from seed, or are you going to get seedlings to start from your friend?
This time I'm going to do it from seed because I know you can.
Okay.
And Jennifer does every year, and so does Teresa Byington. So I know I can do it.
You can do it.
It's just getting the timing right. It's kind of like, it's like the sweet pea seeds. You got to get the timing right.
Exactly.
So that's what I'm going to do. And I also didn't bring in any coleus. I didn't bring in anything the mealybugs like. I left it all outside. I thought, I'm just not doing that this year.
Your discipline and restraint are a model for all of us, Dee.
Just this year. I used to do it. Back in the old days, I was like, yeah, bring in those citrus. Who cares about the citrus scale? I'm like, I care. I care a lot. And I really care about mealybugs. They're awful. All right. Playing favorites. Oh, and I did some reels for Instagram.
I saw those.
2 of those are up, but there's like 3 more or something. Anyway, when I was sitting down on this one I haven't published yet, but I was sitting down next to a plant on the raised bed. And when I got up, Bill goes, wait, you have a wasp on your back, because I just want to send out a PSA. It's that time of year when the wasps are just stupid and get in your way, and you might accidentally sit on one. And then he knocked it off. It landed on his leg, but the whole poor thing was confused and got knocked off and smashed. Poor thing. All right, moving on.
Favorites. That's what we're up to next.
It's my greenhouse. I like it this time of year because it's cold outside and I walk inside and it's summer. In fact, I have a blog post called It's Eternal Summer in the Greenhouse.
Oh, that's nice. I'm going to go back to the Japanese anemones that I have out in the back garden because
so pretty.
They're so pretty, and they're just blooming like crazy right now, and they have no care in the world. They don't care that we might actually get a touch of snow tomorrow, Monday. They don't care. They look so pretty. And I think it's Honorine Jobert. I did not look it up, but that's the classic white. You almost
pronounced that perfectly.
What? I'm going to lose my reputation.
It's Honorine Jobert. But it was so close, girl.
I'm going to lose my Honorine Jobert.
That's exactly how you use the French. So you're picking up on that French. All right. Question of the week.
I'll ask it. Dee, is your greenhouse heated?
Of course it's heated. I live in zone 7A and it gets really cold here in the winter sometimes. And so, of course, it's heated. It's heated with a 2-stage system of electricity and propane. If you live where there's natural gas, you could use natural gas. I have 2 separate heaters, and there's an Instagram reel where I talk about this. And yes, of course, it's heated. You cannot have a greenhouse in zone 7 and not put some heat in there, because basically it's an uninsulated house structure in the middle of nowhere with nothing around it to protect it.
So which comes first, electricity or propane?
So the electricity is always on a very low temperature. And then the propane comes on when it needs to. Okay. And the reason we do that is because, that way if you run out of one or something breaks, you don't lose everything. Because believe me, it always happens on the iciest day or the snowiest day of the winter, every time.
Yes. And heat in a greenhouse is it's no inexpensive feat, so to speak.
No, it's very expensive. In fact, I think Monty Don, of course, he would be like zone 8B
Right.
over in England. They don't do their zones the same way, but from what I've watched over the years, I think it's 8B. And in his case, it would be he is not going to heat it this year because he's trying to save fuel. So greenhouses are definitely a luxury.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, and our buddy Matt Mattis over there on Instagram was talking about he's
Right.
gone without heat on his greenhouse, and it's a big sacrifice because he has a lot of expensive plants in there, so he's just being real cautious. But I think they were replacing the heating unit. He had somebody that was going to share the cost or something. But anyway, it's a big deal.
It is a big deal. And thinking about what you want to do. I mean, I bring in all my tropicals and my succulents.
Uh-huh.
And so, because they can't overwinter here, you can overwinter subtropical, but you can't overwinter tropical. And so, I'm going to heat mine. But I have said that if I ever move, I'm just going to build on a sunroom. I
There
won't
you
have
go.
a greenhouse again. That's
Okay,
all.
insect of the week. You picked this one, Dee. You begged me. You said, "Oh, dear Carol, can we talk about mole crickets?"
No, I did not beg you, but it sounded like a good thing. Mole crickets right now, they're the little brown crickets. They're coming into your house and they're different from the bigger black crickets. And they also make these little piles in your yard this time of year, and they're like little mounds. And so that's what made me think of it. And the truth is, they're not a problem. They don't hurt anything. They're just leave them be. But some people want to spray them and tear up their yard. I'm just not willing to do that.
Yeah, we're going to link to Clemson University's article about it. I guess I have mole crickets. I don't really know. They said that they're a lawn pest. I must not
You know
have
who
any.
says that?
Huh?
Mostly is the pesticide people, right?
Right, right. Oh, and they've got a long list of pesticides you can use to kill those things.
Yeah,
A
which
long
is
list.
they don't even mess up your yard that much unless you're into
No.
a perfect yard. So,
And I am not, as you'll
I
see,
am
but
not.
I just don't see it in my yard.
I'm not sure you guys have them.
Yeah, I don't think we do. I think this is more of a southern thing. We do have plenty of the black crickets, and
Yeah.
they come in the garage, and you go out there and they're singing and carrying on, but they don't hurt nothing.
I think these are a different type from what
Yeah.
I've looked at.
Yeah.
So,
I'm mostly
okay.
fascinated by those cave crickets that, if you go down in caves, they live way down in the caves and they're
white and
blind
they're
and
blind. Mhm.
yeah. Anyway, I am going
Like
to
the
do a
blind
quote.
stuff in the ocean and the blind stuff here, blind stuff there, things I don't see. All right, let's go on to the quote. It's yours,
Okay.
all right? It's a good thing because I'm
Yes.
cleaning my glasses real quick.
Okay. Fall leaves fall, die flowers away, lengthen night and shorten day. Every leaf speaks bliss to me, fluttering from the autumn tree. I shall smile when wreaths of snow blossom where the rose should grow. I shall sing when night's decay ushers in a drearier day. And that is Emily Bronte. And the reason we chose that quote, Dee, everybody always quotes, every leaf speaks bliss to me, fluttering from the autumn tree.
Right.
But when
the
you
whole poem's pretty dark.
the whole poem is pretty dark and gloomy.
The
and,
Emily was kind of a depressive.
Anyway, I thought that was interesting to see it in context.
Yes, it's totally different.
So, our flower topic,
You picked it.
I
It's a good
picked
one.
another species name. This one is Officianalis.
Yep.
So, what did we learn about Officinalis?
That means they're medicinal or culinary. So they're
Yeah.
used in cooking or used in medicine or both, because some
Yes.
plants do both, do double duty.
Yes, and it said the name originates from the medieval term for a storeroom in a monastery where medicines were kept, signifying the plant's historical significance in herbalism and medicine. So we're going to go down through some flowers, and I tried to find little snippets about each one, and then we'll do veggies.
Okay, sounds good. So the first one you picked was Primula officinalis, which is cowslip, and it's also called Primula veris. And it likes a moist, humusy, shady spot. And I can't grow primulas at all.
We've talked about this a couple of weeks ago. Cannot grow them. This one has yellow flowers. It's common in English meadows, and they often used it in the
Carol
past.
Klein has them. She has
Yes.
them in her garden. I've
Oh,
seen them.
sure. They made
Yeah.
wine and used them as a sedative. And they said the word cowslip, now I said
Ew.
it grew in English meadows, is Old English for cowslop, meaning cow dung, because they often grew in pastures where cows were grazing.
Interesting.
Cowslip, like slip on, never mind.
Yeah. Slip on poo.
There's a theme to all these flowers, Dee.
There is?
Beside officinalis. We'll get to the theme at the end.
Okay. And then you listed Pulmonaria officinalis next, which is lungwort, also a woodland plant.
Yes.
And what do you want to say about it?
Well, this one had the spot, it has the spotted leaves, the lungworts too.
Right.
And so it was thought to be resembling diseased lungs. So they were using it to treat respiratory ailments. And we could do a whole thing on that doctrine of signatures, where what a plant looks like is what it's used to treat.
Is that the other aspect of this?
No. I mean, are we going to talk about doctrine of signatures in depth?
No.
We are not. No.
Okay.
We have to do a ton of research. But the interesting thing about lungwort, and I have attempted to grow lungwort, but it never made it past a few years. But the flowers, they're the kind that start out pink and then they turn blue as they age.
Which is unusual.
Yeah.
It's very unusual in flower land.
It is very unusual, but the Virginia bluebells that we have here, they start out pink and turn blue.
Right. I was thinking about those because half the time they're pink and they're moving to blue on the plant, which is really cool.
That is very cool. Next.
Saponaria officinalis, which is bouncing bet, and it's also called soapwort.
Yes, and supposedly they use the roots and the leaves to make a soapy lather.
Yep.
That they could use for washing delicate fabrics and things. And supposedly people that deal in antique textiles will still use soapwort to clean those clothes.
Interesting.
I thought so too. And this one, of course, it likes a sunny spot. I am not growing this. The bouncing bet supposedly refers to the washerwomen who bounce clothes while washing them. Bouncing bet.
Okay.
Look at me imitating bouncing bet, washing clothes.
And the next one is Verbena officinalis, which is common vervain, and it's not native in the United States, and it is not likely to be grown here.
No, and I will tell you that all the officinalis, because they come from old medieval terms and herbs,
they're all European.
They're all European, or somewhat came into Europe. Don't know much about this one. When you look at the flower, it doesn't look like much, but it was considered sacred by ancient Romans, Druids, and even the early Christians, and they would hang it above the doorway to ward off the vampires.
Oh, well, Lord knows. We don't want vampires coming in.
Or wear it around their neck as a protection from probably vampires.
Because vampires are so common.
And you thought I was going to say evil spirits, but no, it said vampires.
It's specifically vampires.
So if that's a problem for you, you might want to get some common vervain.
And then there's Hyssopus, or Hyssopus, officinalis, and that's hyssop. Is that the same thing as anise hyssop?
Well, no. I mean,
I think so.
Maybe.
Who knows? Oh, well, it's used in purification rituals, and it's an aromatic herb, and it attracts bees and butterflies, like all the hyssops do. And it comes from the Hebrew, Ezob, meaning holy herb. And I probably didn't pronounce that right because my Hebrew is very rusty.
Yeah.
Non-existent.
Exactly. I would say that the hyssop that we grow with, the anise hyssop, and don't we grow Blue Fortune is our favorite.
Yeah. Blue Fortune is our favorite. I don't have
and
any
it
right
blooms
now.
rather late, and it always has bees and butterflies. And I should have deadheaded mine a while back to force out one last little new bloom. But anyway, so what do all these
things happen? Life goes on.
What do all these have in common besides officinalis, Dee?
They're European plants.
Besides that. And you and I
pollinator
have it in common.
plants. I don't know. Help.
We're not growing any of them.
Oh, no.
That was what they had in common.
I got it. Okay, will we do
Oh.
the next quote?
I do. Nice and slow, Dee.
I'll do my best. The aesthetic value of creation cannot be overlooked. Our very contact with nature has a deep restorative power. Contemplation of its magnificence imparts peace and serenity. The Bible speaks again and again of the goodness and beauty of creation, which is called to glorify God. And that is by Pope John Paul the Great, who was Pope John Paul II, but then when he became a saint, he is now Pope John Paul the Great.
I do not remember hearing that, but I will believe you.
You know it's right. I got that down.
So
Okay.
we are going right into the vegetable garden, and again,
Got it.
it's officinalis, and so most of these, admittedly, are herbs, but they belong in the
And
vegetable
we grow a
garden
bunch
too.
of these.
Yes,
Okay, ready. First one is Salvia officinalis, which means common sage. And I do grow common sage and I love
I
it.
do.
And I use it in things and I cook with it and I love it. It's one of my favorite things. But it's also a sacred herb and is used in a lot of purification rituals.
Yes, and I guess the Native Americans would gather sage, and then I don't know what variety of sage, because this been a European sage. You know, they smudge out
Yeah, but it could have come over here and the Native Americans adopted it too. So I don't know. I don't know what kind of sage they used. I think now they use common sage, but I could be wrong. If we have any Native American listeners who are involved in any of these rituals, they are welcome to come and share and write a seal on our podcast stuff. All right. And then there's an old adage you said, why should a man die while sage grows in his garden? Yeah.
I don't know. Do you put it in your dressing for turkey?
Absolutely.
Okay. I think
I like it in
I do.
sausage too.
Yes, it's very delicious.
I'm
Next,
actually thinking about putting sausage in my dressing this year, which I don't normally do. I have a really good sagey chicken sausage that would be good in it.
that sounds delicious.
All right, Rosemary officinalis. That brings us to you and why you were sniffing rosemary.
Well, we should say that Rosmarinus officinalis is really now Salvia rosmarinus, which
Right. I forgot they'd done that.
Yeah, they changed it, but we're for our purposes. Now, the reason that I sniffed it is because it's been associated with memory and remembrance.
Which is why the quote from Shakespeare is about, here's rosemary for remembrance. Pray, love, remember me.
Yes.
It's part of Ophelia's. We did it last year. It's part of Ophelia's big scene.
Now,
Before she kills herself.
Instagram must have been spying on me when I was looking up stuff
Imagine
about
that.
rose. And so I ended up with this Instagram post, and they cited scientific studies. So I don't know if this is true or not, but scientists have found that the smell, and I'm quoting, and we'll link to it. Scientists have found that the smell of rosemary can make the brain more focused, alert, and emotionally balanced. Research shows that people who breathe in rosemary scent can remember up to 75% more information. Psychologists believe this happens because rosemary helps the brain release more acetylcholine, a chemical linked to learning, focus, and emotional control.
Fascinating.
It is. And then they said students in ancient Greece would wear rosemary garlands while they were studying. I'm all about it, Dee. I'm going to start, I'll be sniffing. And I've got 3 of these plants that I brought in. I'm not going to, it's got water in the thing, but it's the worst of them because it's getting too much air from the vent down there, but it's not doing too bad. I just got to remember it needs a little bit more water.
All of mine are outside because with good drainage, they can overwinter. But sometimes they die because they don't get enough drainage.
They're not going to
All right, and
overwinter
then you've
outside
listed
here.
Melissa officinalis, which is lemon balm.
Yes.
And it is now invasive in some areas of the country. I believe it because I have grown it. And it is very aggressive. It is in, I believe, the mint family because it has a square stem.
Mm-hmm.
And it misbehaves. but it is really smells really good.
Well, now I will say that I looked it up on Missouri Botanical Garden, and we'll link to
Yeah.
all these plants. I think I found links on all of them or most of them to Missouri Botanical Garden. And
Yeah.
they had that look like check where this is invasive. And I
Mhm.
looked at the map. And so like there were 2 counties in Indiana. And then when you click on them, it's like it was found in 2 places.
Oh,
And so
I don't think
it's not like
invasive
don't
here.
grow this like it's going to be invasive everywhere. But it's one to watch.
Yeah, I guess.
So did you ever
But
do what they said the beekeepers would rub lemon balm on themselves to keep on hives to keep the bees from swarming?
no, but you have to be careful because there's, oh gosh, now I'm not going to be able to remember.
You
There's
need
some
some
kind of
rosemary,
an
Dee.
oil, lemon oil. Maybe it was lemon balm oil. I don't remember. Anyway, there was something that you would put on a cotton ball to attract swarms. So no, I didn't do any of that, but that's just me. Okay, then Calendula officinalis, which is pot marigold, not to be confused with tagetes,
Right.
which is the marigold that we grow in our garden. We call it calendula here. But both of those plants, their common name means Mary's gold.
Yes. I'm picking at my little plant here because it has a bunch of dry things. I'm just sort of getting off. I'm sorry to do that.
So the petals of calendula are both edible and they are also used to color cheese and butter or were back in the day and maybe still are some places.
Yeah.
But the other thing is it's used as a hand cream because it calms down the skin. So
Nice.
in natural hand creams, you will often see Calendula officinalis, even now. And they do track the sun. And I did not know that they were called summer's bride because they bloom so prolifically.
I didn't either because they don't last into your summer, do they?
They do sometimes. It depends on how hot the summer is. And then there comes a day and I'm like, okay, these have got to go. But they're great all through spring, just like nasturtiums are.
Okay.
All right.
And that's in my garden then. The nasturtiums hung on all summer and then they just burst into glorious bloom in the fall. So I will endeavor to remember to plant some pot marigold, some calendula.
Yeah. And then Borago officinalis, which is borage. And because I took French all those years, I always want to call it borage, but that's not how you pronounce it. It's borage, like porridge. And it is beautiful. It has gorgeous flowers. They are blue, the best color of blue, the color of the sky. It is quite prolific seedling wise.
Yes, I have it.
Love it.
Once you have borage, you will have it self-sow. It can be a big plant, but it's got roots about a half inch deep. I mean, they just like one swipe, or you walk by it and you could actually knock it out of the ground. So I love
Yeah,
it.
they're not very deep, and you can always tell when it's coming up because they're gray blue and they're kind of fleshy leaves.
Yeah,
So they're pretty
but
cool.
I've never eaten the flowers, I will admit, but they say they taste like cucumbers. Have you eaten them?
I have eaten them. Yeah.
Do they taste like
cucumbers? Yeah.
And then they said that
they're pretty in ice cubes.
yes, Roman soldiers and crusaders would carry borage for courage before battle.
Huh. Anyway, it's a beautiful plant. It's a great pollinator plant. It makes me happy. Oh, lavage. I'm going to try. Levisticum officinalis. I have grown it.
I have not grown it. It's in the carrot family.
It was okay. I never grew it but 1 year.
Did it get big? Like it says it can get 6 to 8 feet tall.
Mm-mm. I don't think it liked it here very much. And I'll be honest, I barely remember it, but it had a deep root because it's a carrot.
So how they used to use lovage was they would chew on the seeds to aid digestion. Now, we're not recommending that anybody do anything with these herbs that we say on this podcast without checking it out for themselves.
Go check out an herbalist. We're just telling you what people use them for.
Yeah, and then they would, and it would freshen the breath. And also, the hollow stems were used as drinking straws.
Yeah, it does have hollow stems.
So,
yuck.
That is our trip through the Officianalis that we discovered for the flower garden and the vegetable garden.
Yes. Thank you, Carol.
You're welcome.
You did the heavy lifting. All right. How about Carol's quote?
You will find more lessons in the woods than in a book. Trees and stones will teach you what you cannot learn from masters. Saint Bernard of Clairvaux.
Clairvaux. But close.
Uh,
So close.
I have to
So
keep up my
close.
reputation for mispronouncing everything.
AUX is always O, Clairvaux. But good job. I'm so proud of you. All right, here's our book. I'm getting my stuff off.
The Preserver's Garden, How to Grow a Garden for Fermenting, Canning, Pickling, Dehydrating, Freeze Drying, and More by Stacy and Jeremy Hill. And we would like to thank Quarto for sending us review copies. This book is coming out December the 2nd. Should be under a lot of gardeners' Christmas trees, if you ask me, Dee.
I think it especially should for anybody who likes to make food.
Yes.
And the pictures are beautiful of the vegetable gardens.
Yes.
So that's cool too. So if you're into dehydrating, freezing, canning, pickling, all of these things, freeze drying too, if I did not mention that, this is the book for you. And they really break it down and make it simple. Plus, let me just say, it has really great end papers,
Yeah, it
which
does.
you never ever see in books anymore.
No.
So what do you want to say about it, Carol?
Well, I want to highlight one of the things that in the official description. If you're growing for preservation of food, your efforts need to be focused on the promotion of uniform ripening, high yield, and flavor that remains stable through the preservation process. And so that's where this book is really quite useful, because they will tell you not only how to grow it, but how to preserve it.
There's that Calendula officinalis.
Oh, it's beautiful. And
Isn't
they
it
probably,
pretty?
how
And
do
then
they
right next
preserve
to
it,
is
Dee?
feverfew. Yeah, I mean, they did it by drying. So the chamomile they dried for tea, and the calendula blooms. Let me see what they said. Just these people really
They
guarded
do.
this.
Like, I was looking at cabbage.
Yeah,
It's interesting because they said cabbage cannot be canned safely.
yeah, it has something to do with. Is it the sulfur in it? I don't know this stuff because I used to can, but then I quit.
But they said the reason it can't be canned is because nobody's ever tested the safety of it, because
Right.
nobody ever thought anybody would want to can cabbage. Because if you're going to preserve cabbage, most people would ferment it into sauerkraut.
Sauerkraut. Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I like this book, Dee, and sometimes you have too many zucchini sitting on the counter. They would give you some great ideas on how to preserve those. I mean, I basically just freeze them, but there's some other ideas too. I like it. Like it a lot, Dee. It's really, really well done. Hats off to
It's a
them.
great book. Oh, I guess I should lift it up at the same time. Ta-da!
Yeah. Hats off to them. So anyway,
It's a good book.
how to
It's
plan the
beautiful.
garden, figure out how much to grow to meet your preservation goals, decides the methods you want to use to
Yeah.
preserve your harvest, how to do it safely. I'm always afraid I'm going to kill myself with botulism, but following their instructions, I think I would be all right. Because
I think you'd be okay.
I think they'll be yeah.
My mother was a big canner, believe it or not.
My
And
grandmother was.
She grew, one year, so was my grandmother. My paternal grandmother and my mother both were canners. And my mother, one time, I've never told you the story. One time she grew a garden with her best friend.
Yeah.
They never grew a garden before.
Oh,
and
yeah.
they ended up with so much produce because, on fresh land,
Right.
you just turned over, right? And so they ended up with all of this stuff, and all they did was can all summer.
Oh.
And then they never grew a garden again because they hated canning it all. But they didn't feel like they could waste it or give it away. So,
well, and if you know the right kind of farmer's market, a lot of times you can get a big bushel basket of stuff to can or to preserve somehow. That's another way people do it. If you do that, find out what pesticides they used, if any, because you want to know that you've got good, clean produce.
yeah.
And if you grow it
Or you
yourself,
could be like me and just grow what you want to eat and not worry about it.
you could. Or you could be like me, thinks, my garden's pretty big. I bet you I could grow enough to can some things, and I'm going to.
Are you going to can next year?
I might freeze more. Now, I freeze peppers.
I freeze stuff.
Maybe.
I don't can as much as I did when I was younger. It was fun. But it's just billing me, and I can just get the food out of the garden and eat it and enjoy it. And then I sometimes freeze some of it.
But I'm going to
Okay.
keep this around. I'm going to be checking this out, Dee, because I think this has got a lot of great information in it.
It is. It's a good book.
And I will say this, the reason it's also good is like our parents would have learned to can from their parents. That
Right.
knowledge did not get handed down. So good books like this would kind of bring that knowledge back so that people can figure it out.
Yeah.
And I bet you they have a YouTube channel. I don't know. I'll have to
I bet
look.
they have a YouTube channel or an Instagram.
I will look for them on the social medias.
Okay. Ready for the next quote?
I am.
Peering from some high window at the gold of November sunset. I'm going to start this over because I am really botching it, and E. Cummings deserves better. Okay?
He does. You can do it, Dee.
Ready? Here we go. Peering from some high window at the gold of November sunset and feeling that if a day has to become night, this is a beautiful way. E. Cummings.
Nice.
Better?
Better.
Dirt.
I thought we
Sure.
should have a shout out for Taraxacum officinale.
Yes, which is the common dandelion, which
Yes.
is a specialty green in Europe.
It
So-
is. And people here, though, they all think of it as a weed. And, as I've told my neighbors, I've gone organic. There will be a few dandelions out there, but I'll just keep mowing them off. And every single part of that dandelion plant is edible.
Right. And very good for you. Extremely good for you. It
Yes.
is rich in vitamins and minerals. It has lots of health benefits, like promotes liver health, reduces inflammation. It aids in blood sugar management. It also contains antioxidants that protect cells from damage and may support weight loss and cholesterol reduction. Basically, it is a little powerhouse in those leaves.
Exactly. And plus dandelion wine, right? No, I don't do
Yeah,
it.
people made dandelion wine, and there's that famous book by Ray Bradbury.
Yes, dandelion. I was
Right.
just thinking about that.
I love that book. I love that whole series. It's probably my favorite series.
Ray Bradbury's entire papers and library,
Yeah.
they're either housed at Indiana University in Indianapolis or Bloomington. One of those two libraries has his complete collection. Just so you know.
That's cool.
That is
I
cool.
want to go. I wish I could sit and talk to him. He really is one of my favorite authors of all time.
So we won't go through I found all kinds of information about the dandelion.
Well, talk about its name, what it comes from.
Well, where did I write that?
Under the name, right under what I just read.
Well, the common name dandelion comes from the French dent de lion, which means lion's tooth because of the jagged leaf edges.
Right.
But they think that the Taraxacum, the genus name, comes from the Greek taraxos, which means disorder, and akos, which means remedy, referring to its
Cool.
medicinal properties.
That is really cool. So in a lot of places, it's not considered a weed.
Right.
It's a survivor. It also, one thing, I don't know if you wrote about this in here or not, but it brings up minerals from way down in the soil up to the top because of the way its root system is. I read
Yes.
that in a book a long time ago. And so it is not a bad plant.
No.
know
And
it.
now I got this one information and I would have to check and find like another source because this one site said that the taproot could go 10 to 15 feet deep.
I've
like,
never seen them that deep.
That's pretty deep.
Yeah.
But in mild climates, it's there year round and it can flower year round and produce up to 15,000 seeds in a season.
That's
So,
amazing.
Anyway,
That's probably why people don't like it very much.
first to flower in the spring, last to flower in the fall.
It doesn't bother me a bit. I have
Oh.
them everywhere.
Oh, and one last thing.
What?
One of my favorite little Lego sets, and it's on the Walmart. The only place I think you can get it is Walmart. It's a little package for $4.99, and it has a dandelion flower, a dandelion seed head, and then just like a wheat spear or something. I don't. It's called field flowers. It doesn't say dandelion. It says field flowers.
Do you have a picture of those that you can?
I
put in
do
the
because
newsletter?
I put together two, and it's in my one half bath for
Oh,
decoration.
cool.
I could put
think
a
I've
picture in
seen
the
it.
newsletter.
I think you sent me a picture of it when you made it.
Yeah, probably. I do like it.
Probably. Okay, you want to do the next quote?
I will. The November wind has a sound different from any other, a low, dry whispering through the bare branches. John Burroughs.
Well, my branches aren't bare yet, but it's coming.
Some
It's
of ours
coming
are bare,
soon.
some of them aren't, but the wind is sure a blowing.
No, it's blowing today. It's really cold. All right, rabbit holes. I'll do mine first. It's plant related. I have been researching CBD creams and CBD oils to put on your skin because Bill has this terrible shoulder pain and back pain. And those are made from hemp, which is related to marijuana. They're both cannabis,
Right.
right? And so I went yesterday to 3 different stores trying to find some stuff for him. And I finally found some cream, and then I was going to put it on his shoulder last night. It's more like an oil or like a wax. And he goes, "Is that vegan?" And I said, "Bill, I didn't even think about it." And the print was really small, so I'm going to get out a magnifying glass and try to figure it out for sure. But anyway, it is a good pain medicine. So
Good. Well, I hope it turns out to be vegan so that you can use it.
me too, because that was not cheap.
Yeah. Otherwise, you'll have to take it back.
I'll tell you about it.
So I've just started down a rabbit hole after another lost lady of garden writing. She'll show up on Wednesday. But I did finish 2 of the last 2 books in a 5-book series, Dee, so it was easy reading, of the Magical
For
Bookshop
you.
series by Amanda Flower.
Uh-huh.
And so I tell listeners, if you liked Aunt Dimity, where she had the Lori, the person who solved the mysteries, would open up the journal and Aunt Dimity would write stuff from the beyond.
Yeah.
So in this case, Violet gets clues from books that fly around their bookshop and open up to certain pages.
That's kind of fun.
It is kind of fun. And there's a birch tree that lives in the center of the bookshop indoors that they have to water every other day from a magical spring back behind the bookshop.
Cool.
And every book has got a different book that was like the theme. Like this last one, the book was Leaves of Grass by Walt Whitman. No, that was 2 ago. And then there was the one with Thoreau's Walden was the last one.
That's
so it's kind of cool that
so
way.
she uses classical books too, which is kind of neat, right?
Yes. And I've also gone off the rails on Canva and Instagram making posts of talking flowers.
Okay. And have you been posting these on Instagram and I've missed them?
Yes,
I'll have to go
Instagram
look.
doesn't like me and it suppresses everything I post.
Jerks.
So you'll have to
really
go
can't
out there
stand them.
and seek it out. And
Remember
then,
when I was telling you that I lost all those people as
Yeah.
followers? They suddenly reappeared.
the same, I told you that I had lost
That's bizarre.
a similar percentage, but since I'm way down there, I looked today and I'm thinking, they're all
They're
back?
back. Yeah. I don't understand it.
Well,
and I
go
don't
look
care.
at my talking flower post. And
I will. I'll go look at them right after we get done planning the next episode.
Yeah, share one to stories so people will see them because
Oh, yeah, I'll share them for you.
Instagram does not like it. Instagram is not happy with me.
How dare
Suppress. Garden commissions.
I'm just going to keep everything watered. I did not plant the garlic this week, but I did water all my house plants and kind of talk to them and tell them how sorry I was. I was such a terrible houseplant mother. And then, but the garlic, it may not get planted this year. Do you ever have something that you should plant and you just look at it and you think, I just don't want to do it?
Yes, and let me just tell you this. So it's one of those things where you put it off and you put it off and you put it off, and then it takes you all 15 minutes to do it, and you think,
right?
Why
like
did I make a big deal out of this?
Or your laundry or any
Why
of
did I
those
make
small,
a big deal?
Yeah, I know. I need to just get out there, but I need a package of potting soil, which means I have to go to that particular store, and that's what's caused it.
Oh,
Pshaw.
yeah.
Oh, well.
Wait a minute.
All right, what are you going to do?
Now, why do you need a thing of potting soil?
Because my deal is way down.
I have an idea for you.
What's that?
Go to one of the raised beds that you're not going to plant in.
And just move some potting soil over.
Exactly. Move some potting soil from that one into that one, and then you can push off going to that store to get potting soil till spring.
That's a good idea, Carol.
Yeah. Is that going to happen?
Probably, maybe.
I don't know.
I could do it, maybe. Anyway. All right. So what are you going to do?
Well, when it warms up again, which I think it will by like Wednesday, Thursday, I got to go out and just start working on leaf relocations to the back vegetable garden beds. And then I'm going to garden club tomorrow, and I need to pot up those new houseplants. And that's pretty much it. Easy peasy.
Easy peasy. So Is it your turn to do Are We Not Care, Do Not Care, or is it mine?
It can be either of our turns. Flip a coin.
You.
We do not care if we have dandelions in our lawns. Dandelions are good plants for bees and people too. Plus, it's safer to have dandelions in the lawn instead of a little flag that says, keep off the grass, which they have to put out every time they treat lawns with herbicides. The end.
I like it.
I will wrap us up now. Thank you for listening to The Garden Angelist. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single episode. We publish every week on Wednesdays at 12 a.m. Eastern Time.
If you want to subscribe to our Substack newsletter, you get a link to listen to the podcast a whole day early and links to the products we discuss. Plus, you can go over to YouTube and see us in person. Plus, full episodes show up on Tuesdays. So if you can't wait until Wednesday, you now have 2 ways to get episodes on Tuesdays.
And if you want to help support us, use our affiliate links. If you buy something after clicking through on them, we're in a small commission and it costs you nothing. Plus, I learned something new, Dee. If people will go to Apple Podcasts and click the follow button, that will help us get noticed by others and the algorithm will push us up. So hit the follow button, not just subscribe, follow.
Oh, cool. Or you can set up a monthly subscription through Buzzsprout or make a one-time donation through PayPal. You have the option of pledging your support on Substack if you would like.
And we want to thank everyone who has done so. It does help us pay for the podcast hosting.
It was lovely to chat with all of you over the garden gate. Bye until next week.
Bye, everybody.